Good morning, everyone. It is Eric and Ryan here from our favorite working spot. We're going to do a video today. We're going to do, I guess, questions from the water.
That's a good segment name. I like it.
Questions from the water. Anyway, so we're out on Lake Mojave. Sun is just coming up over the rise behind Ryan. So I'm kind of looking into the sun, but I can read my questions here. So I have a first question from John. And John says, Eric, I live in the Pacific Northwest, about 10 miles from the Pacific Ocean. I can only get moisture down to about 10% in my garage. What happens when you carve wood that has a higher moisture content than 10%? I have some rough cut one-inch cedar stacked in my garage between stickers, with stickers between the pieces, and cardboard underneath the bottom of the stack. What will happen if I freehand carve this wood? So the last part of that,
Dad, can you kind of pedal towards me a little bit?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's hard to hold the phone and paddle this. Sorry guys, we're both in kayaks, and this is it's a bit of a challenge, but it's good.
I guess we'll just have to do it more until we perfect it. Right?
See, I like the way you think, Dad.
All right, I'm going to get my paddle out here so I can kind of, rather than have to lean back and
Okay, that's good.
Pedal.
Yeah.
I can put myself in spot right here.
All right, we're good.
Okay, so anyway, so 10%. There's a lot of people in this same situation, John, where you can only get your moisture down to 10%. And to be honest, that might be low enough. Every board is a little bit different, so you need to test it and try. But I've carved stuff that was 12 and sometimes even 14%, and it did just fine. But each piece is a little bit different. So don't feel like you have to get it down to 6%. Where I get mine. Sometimes I get mine down to 0 out here in Arizona where it's nice and dry. Not right here on the water. But anyway, so, but you definitely keep your stuff on stickers. No doubt about that. Keep air movement on it, like a little fan blowing on it. But the first part of your question is, what happens when you carve wet wood? Well, what happens is it... number one, the chip down in the cut doesn't want to let loose. It like grips, and it just looks kind of fuzzy, and it just doesn't look like a really clean cut. That's number one. Number two, it kind of gums up. It will gum up on your router bit. It will gum up down in the cut, and just it looks nasty. Once you've done it once or twice, then you'll know exactly the way it looks. So I suggest, if you guys are curious, just take a piece of wood that you know is wet. Number one, get yourself a moisture meter so you know. And we've got a really good one in our Amazon store. In fact, we just talked about it not too long ago. And I think we're going to do a complete video on that, showing you exactly how to use it.
And that's the Tavool?
Tavool, T-A-V-O-O-L.
Yeah.
It's in our Amazon store. Super easy to use. I thought it was going to be difficult. It's actually super easy to use. So that's, that answers that part of the question. But just try to keep them dry. And here's the big thing, guys. When you have to understand, your board has to dry the same on both sides. So don't lay it flat on a bench. Anytime you lay it flat on the bench and air can get to the top part of that wood, but not the bottom part, then that's where you're going to have problems, especially if you're in a high moisture area. So, Ryan, do you need to adjust there?
No, we're good.
Yeah, you're actually all good. Man,
yeah.
This water is just, it's so
I know.
beautiful.
I'll kind of pan down here in a
Yeah,
second.
we've been fishing for, I don't know, half hour.
Yeah.
Nothing yet. We've seen a couple jump. We haven't landed anything yet, but we got another hour or two to go before the wind comes up. Then we got to get off the water. So anyway, I hope that helps, John, and I hope that helps you guys out there too. Second question. I have an Eastern cedar sign, and the board I have laid out has some small knots with very minor cracks in the knot area, hairline at best. Would it be wise for me to add some clear super glue before carving? I just got in a day ago the Starbond medium brown. You have mentioned several times, but I have no experience with it yet. Definitely, if you have cracks in your board, you definitely want to get those filled up, especially if you're going to spray on your color after your carving, or even spray on your layout before your carving. Because if you don't, then that black spray will get down in those cracks and it's not going to sand out. So you definitely want to fill your cracks. We use Starbond. We love it. We just did a sign where Ryan did a lot of Starbond fill on that Jack Carr sign. You guys will see that here pretty quick. We've already kind of posted some stuff on Instagram. Oh, and by the way, I want to congratulate my son because he heard back from Jack Carr. If you guys haven't seen that, if you're on Instagram, you probably, and follow Ryan on Instagram, you probably know Ryan made just a really cool sign for Jack Carr, the author, who wrote The Terminal List, who's got a movie coming out pretty soon. And Jack Carr got back to Ryan, and they're conversing now. So it's really cool.
Which
but
is
anyway, so
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations, son. That was a kind of shot in the dark, and it looks like it worked. Anyway, yes, definitely the Starbond stuff works great. If you want, now if you want to try and match the color of what you have, whether it's cedar, whether it's oak, whether it's walnut, whatever it is, then what you might do is, and we're going to do some videos on this too, you mix some sawdust in with the Starbond and put it in there. It kind of takes a little bit to get used to how to use the Starbond, but it's not that difficult to do, and you definitely want to fill those cracks with something before you spray any kind of color on there, whether it's black or you're using some other kind of color, because you just you don't want to get that stuff down in the cracks. So yes, definitely use the Starbond, use something to fill that. I've even had big huge cracks where I've mixed up resin and sawdust and used that like epoxy resin, and I've got videos on that. If you guys have any questions on it, please email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. So that is our questions for the day. I hope that helps. Gosh, keep watching, guys. We may do more segments as the spring and summer go along. We may do more segments out here. It's nice mixing business and work.
That's right. I was going to say, there's no pleasure. This is all business. This is what we have. The love we put into this for you guys, you know.
It's a sacrifice, you know, but we feel like it's worth it for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.